Okay, I'm coming back to you with another video on the ILX7. Today we're going to be milling out a prototype Touchmark that I'm making for blacksmithing. This particular Touchmark is about 25 millimeters or 1 inch in diameter, and it's sized to go up into my fly press so I can get a nice repeatable touch on the work that I do. So yeah, this is version 2. I already milled it once. The first time I milled it, I used a pair of these soft jaws and sandwiched this together like so. However, my vise must have been out of tram when I milled the second one. You can see this this fillet isn't correct. And that caused this to be, well, I don't know if not out of round, but it's not concentric with the axis of the steel. So I'm going to try it again today. I'm going to use a small V block, really clamp it in there well. Yeah, it's not a heavy duty op, so it should be fine. And it's not a heavy duty op, so it should be fine. So I'll take you over to the computer. I'll show you what we are going to do. Okay, so here's the working end, right? That's what I want. That's the impression that I want in the work that I do. My first name's Garen, so it looks like a G, right? But then when you look at it from this direction, that's the power symbol. So my last name's Power, so G Power. Hoorah. So that works, right? So real simple. I'm going to face it with a 1/2 inch end mill, 12.7 millimeter end mill. That's of course after I probe it. Then I'm going to use that same end mill and ramp up the stock. I believe it's starting from here and going up and decreasing in diameter. So we'll rough that out with a 3D adaptive clearing path. We'll do that again, same pattern with the ball nose, same diameter. And then I'm going to use a 3D contour with a, I think the cusp dimension was 0.01. We can take a look real quick here. Let's see where our cusp, 0.01 cusp height. I mean, I don't need it that fine. Before I had 0.04. I mean, you could feel the cusps. This is just for clearance, for visibility's sake. I could always throw it on the lathe here and turn in a taper, but this is fun. I'm learning, right? So there you go. There's the contour. And then back to the face, I'm gonna actually just do it one and done. I'm just gonna do a 3D adaptive with a 1.5 millimeter 4-flute end mill, leaving nothing on the walls or the floor. Just do it. Again, this is just a prototype, and I think it'll look great regardless. The first one I did that same thing, and even with a magnifying glass I can't tell you know, that I didn't do a finish pass. Then this setup here is actually my probing setup. I'm going to do 4 sides of a cylinder and then follow it up with Z, so I'm top and centered with my WCS. And let's mill it. I forgot to say one thing, and I'm going to do it while the mill's powering up. The material I'm using is annealed H13. It's a hardenable tool steel, great for impact work in blacksmithing. I tested it with some Rockwell files, and it came in right about 40 Rockwell. plan. I'm going to use this soft jaw and the V-block. That didn't work. Well, the second setup was definitely more rigid, but it could have used some adjustments. But the proof is in the pudding, right? It's definitely better. I like the cusp height better. I wonder if it's that parallel tool path, because it still looks, you know, the parallel spirals down like this. It still doesn't look straight. But that's what soft jaws are for, right? Definitely not hardened V-blocks. However, I don't think this is hardened. This is a cheap Chinese V-block. And my end mill just had it for dinner. But that's okay. It's got character now. So that was a lot of fun. I definitely like this finish a lot better. Both touch marks look phenomenal. I'll probably heat treat them both here shortly. And I'm going to take this to the lab tomorrow and put it on a CMM and see how close to square I am here. It's definitely better than this one, and I like that setup. Just use the same V-block and get it done a little lower. But that was pretty rigid. Oh, and then lastly, what I noticed is that half-inch end mill or 12/7 end mill. I was doing an adaptive clearing with a 10% axial or optimum load. Every time it comes front or back, the machine whines. It's definitely not as beefy as some of these Haas mills I've been using lately. I'm gonna probably, on moves like that, I'll reduce it down to maybe 0.7 or sorry 0.07, 7% or maybe 5%. I don't like it screaming. It cut fine, but it sure did bitch about it. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.